Hey guys, so I recently had my first wedding, first wedding photo shoot, and I want to share with you some of the things that I realized and learned, and some things that I did do my due diligence on to research before I started. So sit tight, here we go. First thing, I really suggest before you take on your first wedding that you get familiar with your camera. Know what the ISO does, the shutter, the aperture, how to adjust those to get the proper lighting in certain lighting scenarios. You may go from being in a romantic, dark chapel, church, or event center to going to the reception where the lights are flashing, the lights are high and low, or even smoke and fireworks, which will illuminate the whole room. You need to be able to adjust for that on the fly. The next thing I would suggest that you do is have multiple conversations with your bride and groom. The reason being is a lot of times there are expectations. The bride may be expecting this style of image or that style of image. They may not want the traditional photo shoots. They may images rather, pose them up where the bride, the groom, and then the wedding party around them. They may want to have it set around the pool or staggered or stage. They may be expecting something to the effect where you're superimposing all of them together. So have that conversation before you even sign the contract with them, because again, you want to try to manage expectations. I would suggest that you have this conversation 2 or 3 times at least before the wedding. That way, as things come up, as you get more comfortable with having the job, again, this may be your first wedding. I assume this is your first wedding if you're watching this video, but if not, guys, ladies and gentlemen, help me out and leave a comment in the bottom if I've missed anything, okay? Well, anyway, you also want to have a list or have someone to be with you to point out, hey, this is aunt whomever or uncle whomever that flew in from out of town. So now you need to know that, hey, this is a person I want to have a picture with, because once they leave, you can't redo that. And the only way that you'll know is that you have this conversation with them, and then you still need someone there to help point these people out. If you can, try to get someone to help round the party up that's familiar with the people. In other words, that will listen to them, listen to the will of the bride, if I may say it that way. Well, let's also talk about your gear. Now, I did make the suggestion that you make sure that you're familiar with knowing how to operate your camera, but let's talk about the fact that these are electronic devices. They may work fine one minute, they may not work the next minute. You may have a corrupt card. If you can have a backup camera body, that would be great. I would really suggest that you do that. The lens, I'm not going to really suggest a certain lens, because again, the event that you're going to, the location, that may dictate that you have a different lens than what a lot of people may suggest that you do. So I would suggest that you try to go to the site, if at all possible, to get a look around. And on top of that, let's also add, you need to talk with the minister or whoever is presiding over the wedding. The reason being is that some ministers don't want you to use flash photography during a wedding ceremony. Now, you may talk with the bride and groom and they may be fine with it, but the minister may not. Again, you just need to get ahead of these issues and be aware of it beforehand. Your camera body may not be able to take pictures in a low light situation, whereas it's pleasing to you to sell to someone. Again, yes, you're taking pictures, but you're providing a service. You're providing an experience. I was blessed with this couple that I had. They really enjoyed me being there. Actually, I got a chance to actually help with the organizing their wedding program. Just be aware, every wedding won't be an average of, they say the estimate of the average wedding cost, I think, $27,000. Every wedding will not cost that. Now, does that mean that they do not deserve good pictures? No, that does not. You have to find your market and price yourself accordingly. Next, I suggest that you shoot in RAW. The reason being, you can shoot RAW in JPEG. It is up to you, but my suggestion would be to shoot RAW and to be able to know how to edit your pictures. So the reason I would suggest that you shoot RAW is because the wedding can move kind of quickly. And if you're a stop and a half off on your lighting, you'll be able to edit the pictures. If you shoot in JPEG, yes, you can manipulate that picture some, but not as much as you could if you shot it in RAW. Oh yes, let me tell you, the lens that I used, I went in expecting you to use my 24 to 70 f2.8, 70 to 200 f2.8, and 85 f1.8. In actuality, what I end up using, for the most part, the whole wedding, I used the 24 to 70 f2.8. Let's talk about this. A lot of times we want to go with a wide open aperture. We want to go with the f1.8 or the 1.4, whichever glass that you have. The f2.8, which is fine for a single person. But when you start shooting 2, 3, 4, groups of people, stay away from those wide open apertures, because what you're gonna find out is you're gonna have the one person that you focused on, they're gonna be in focus, and the person that's next to them that may be a little bit ahead of them or a little bit behind them, they're gonna be all out of focus. You're gonna be upset because your pictures are not, didn't come out right. So try to go back around to it's just a recommendation, f4 for at least 2 people deep. If it's deeper than that, if you have a group where you have 3, 4, 5 people staggered, you may have to stop down, even further, f5.6 or so. But anyway, stay away from the wide open apertures, because again, you're gonna blow out the background, you're gonna blow out the other people. They're gonna be soft focus. You just won't want to present that to your client. The next thing I want to recommend is that you have a game plan for your workflow. So in this wedding and reception, I took about 1,200 shots. Did I have to? Probably not, but by this being my first wedding, and I want to, how does the saying go? Under promise, over deliver. Because we're talking about customer service. So with this wedding, I actually got 2 more jobs out of this wedding. So remember, you're giving a service, okay? Yes, you're gonna get paid. Yes, you want to get paid. Yes, you're doing it for money. All of that. But your driving focus and force should really be to give your service, okay? Not saying to give it away, but you're gonna give your service to your client so that they will have a better experience. Again, your business should be about them. Okay, enough of that. But anyway, so now with these 1,200 shots, I did not have a game plan of how I was going to edit that large of a number of pictures. Now with those 1,200 pictures that I've taken, man, it still blows my mind today to think I took that many pictures and had to go through and edit that many pictures. But anyway, have some type of game plan of how you're going to edit these pictures, how you're going to go through, choose the good ones, and take out the bad ones, edit the pictures, and how you're going to deliver your goods back to your client. Now, whether you send them digitally or if you decide to put them on a thumb drive or whatever you decide to do, consider selling them hard prints. More and more people are starting to do some type of hard prints of their center of their special occasions, be it to hang on their wall or to give it to the parent or grandparent. You still have people that like to see the actual print, not just to post it on Facebook or Instagram or wherever. Well guys, I hope this was helpful. If I left out anything, how about leaving a comment down then below? Anything I can do to make this video better, please let me know, okay? Thank you. Have a good one. God bless.